And so anything that you ever need, you know that you can ask me. Like, you know that you can ask me. And if there's anything that I can do that would help the community, that would help you in any way, or that would help any trans individual in any way, I definitely will. Anything that it takes. And I am going to do better, be better. And I know I won't get grace, and that's okay, because when you do negative things, you have to take that negativity in, and so I accept that. I just want to be better and do better. And so for you specifically, and for also any other trans individual, if you ever need anything, you can reach out to me, and I will try my best to help out as much as I can.
One last thing before I drop down, because I have some other things that I gotta do. For all of the people that are down in the comments as of right now, telling me, okay, cool story, sis, make sure that you learn from your fucking privilege and actually grow the fuck up. Because these are lives that are personally affected. These are lives that are being destroyed by the hands of this administration. So before you leave a comment, make sure you think about what you're gonna fucking say, because the immaturity in the comments is fucking wild to me. It's absolutely redundant and so fucking disgusting. So make sure that you look in the mirror every single fucking day and see yourself for who you truly are, because by you leaving those comments are absolutely fucking disgusting. If anything, the chat needs to be holding each other accountable as well, because the comments are not it. They're not passing the fucking vibe check at all. So at this point, learn from your hypocrisy. It's absolutely fucking crazy. So for all the new people that are coming in, this is Mermaid. She is a live content creator. She can tell you a little bit about what she had done, but this is strictly a live for trans individuals to come up onto the panel and to share their stories and to hold Mermaid accountable. This is what this live is about. This live is for constructive criticism. This is not a live to berate Mermaid. This is to have her learn from her actions. This is why conversation is so fucking important. So for any motherfucker that is down in the comments that's trying to discredit anything that I'm saying, is fucking crazy and very wild work. It's so wild to me. So if there are any moderators that are down in the comments as of right now, and they are discrediting anything that I'm saying, fucking mute them, block them from the live. I don't fucking care. Hold them accountable. I don't fucking care who they are. Hold them accountable. Anyways, thank you so much for having me up, Mermaid.
Thank you, Kristen. And anytime that you ever want to come up, you can request, and you're definitely allowed up all the time. And I appreciate you for having this conversation with me.
Thank you, Mermaid. I appreciate you. Have a wonderful rest of your day.
You as well.
All right, bye.
Hi, Geeky.
Hey, y'all. Just for TikTok purposes, I'm Geeky, 39, they, them pronouns, part of the trans community. I'm an NB. I'm going to put on my headphones so I don't sound echoey. Hang on just a moment.
Thank you to my moderators, you guys. Thank you, guys.
Hi, Mermaid.
Hi, Kiki.
Hi. Alright, I'm gonna try to be calm, but I'm not gonna lie. I am burning up inside. I really am.
I know.
there is a question that I need to ask before anything else continues.
Mm-hmm.
And the thing I gotta know is, if this video hadn't come out, would you ever have addressed it?
Would I have addressed it? Yes. I think that I don't think I can say yes, because in all honesty, I didn't remember. But do I know that I've made mistakes before? Yes. So I'm actually going to be like 100% like truthful about this answer. I don't think that I would have addressed it, because it
I'm happy that you're being honest about it.
Yeah, I don't think that I would have addressed it, because I did not remember, but I do know that I've done bad things before in my life, and that I have made mistakes, and I should have addressed that a long time ago, because that's a big problem and a big issue. So the answer would be no, because I didn't I haven't thought about it, and in my mind I felt like
that your actions were forgiveness, or that your actions were an apology.
Not an apology. I think that in my mind, and this is where I know that I'm wrong, in my mind I've tried to do a lot to try to make up for those things and be on the right side of history and do good to people that I appreciate and that I love, and to trans people. So I speak out, I speak up. I don't let people degrade trans people. I don't let those things happen in my lives. So in my mind, I thought that I have grown and that I have done better. But should I have addressed the wrongdoings that I have done in my past? Absolutely. And so that's where I definitely fall short, and I can wholeheartedly apologize for that.
So I'm not gonna lie, I'm trying to be
I deserve
no, you
it.
know what? Fuck this shit. I'm not gonna give grace.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna give grace right now. Like, I'm really not. For me, 25 was 14 years ago. It was 2011. I wasn't dropping slurs.
Right.
I wasn't talking that kind of shit on people. I wasn't. And I have since addressed out loud in public that I've had problematic shit in my life. I have told people about the problematic shit in my life, because to me, that's accountability. To me, that's how we hold accountability for one another. For me, I have made sure that the wrongdoings in my life had never strayed far from the forefront of my mind. Because to me, if I ever do, I have forgotten about the things that have made me grow. 5 years wasn't that long ago, Mermaid.
You're right.
And like, I have nothing but the utmost love for Eli. I really do. I love him to death. Hearing his voice shaking and cracking, I lit up. I'm hearing a tiny bit of feedback on my phone, so it's kind of tripping me out. But like, I'm trying to stay focused.
Do I need to turn
it might be
volume down? Hold on, let me see.
I'm not entirely sure, but
does that make it better?
For me, yes, okay. yes, it does.
I apologize.
No, you're good. You're good. At least on that one, you're good. I've never, even in the days back in like the early 2000s, where we weren't as quote unquote woke as we should have been. I ain't never say that word. I've never dropped an N-bomb. I don't slur at people, so much so to the point where if I hear it outside of me, I call it out immediately with blatant disregard for my own personal gain or my own personal safety, any of that shit. That shit doesn't fucking fly with me. And to have the AAVE, it's just Southern California. I'm from Southern California. I grew up in LA. It's part of the language. For me, one of those things that has always driven me crazy is that the trans community, the LGBTQIA in general, but the trans community specifically has always been such a punching bag, the marginalized of the marginalized, the ones on the outside of the margins. Such a small percentage of the community has been such a punching bag for so many different people. And it drives me bonkers. And for me, one of the things that Eli said that stuck out to me is, yes, you are a Black woman, but I really want to drive this point home. Transphobia unalives Black women. Constantly. We are seeing Black women in danger because of this rhetoric. I need to drive that home over and over and over again. The most endangered group of people on this fucking planet and in this country right now are Black trans women. Outside of the count that we have to keep of trans women that have been unalived, we have to keep a separate count of Black trans women that have been unalived. That's how prevalent it is. That's how dangerous it is. And then we also see the same kind of vitriol spewed at Black cis women. The hatred that the Williams sisters got, the hatred that Michelle Obama got, and they're just the public figures. Every day, Black women are harmed by transphobia. Every single day. So, Mermaid, I am glad that you addressed that you would not have addressed this. I'm glad that you were honest about that. I'm going to give you that. You were honest about not doing the step of addressing it. Because I'm not going to lie, I'm real fucking lucky that there was no perpetuity back when I was 25. Not because I was dropping slurs, but because I was stupid back then. I'm not gonna lie. I was a scumbag. I did shitty things to people, but I have addressed it, so much so that I have messaged those people that I have hurt and spoken to them and addressed those things and gotten through it with them, worked with them, held myself accountable with them. The fact that you said you would not have addressed it, if this hadn't come out, that to me speaks volumes. And this live is one thing, but there is a long road paved with a lot of fucked up shit ahead of you, because there's a lot that you're going to have to make up for with this one. And for everyone saying, oh, well, you know, for everyone talking about like Dean and Parker and all those, y'all, we got to stop making white men the face of the leftist movement. We really do. We got to stop making them the face of our movement. Because they get the privilege of being able to turn it off after they shut down this app. We don't ever get to. Our existence is political. We have to exist in that danger. We can't be the ones eating ourselves alive, Mermaid. We can't. We can't be up here popping off with vitriol and then not addressing it. We have to be better than them because they're going to judge us as if we are them. So we have to make sure that we exemplify everything that we talk about. And we're going to fuck up. We're going to make mistakes. All of us are. No one is immune. But it's the way that you go about it. It's the way that you address it afterwards. It's the way that you address it before it becomes something like this. It's the way of not forgetting that you said it. Forgetting that you said it is fucking wild work. I remember every single time someone called me a teist. As a Middle Eastern person, I remember every single time that slur was lobbied at me. I remember every single time someone dropped sand N-bomb at me. I remember every single time someone called me a slur for women who love women, or non-binary people who love women, a femme-presenting person who loves women. I remember every slur. Every single time. And the way that all came rushing back.
Mm-hmm.
The way that all came rushing back, Mermaid. I'm hurt, dude. I am hurt. I thought we were supposed to be better. Hearing those words in your voice. Hearing that kind of vitriol from people who are supposed to be our allies, our accomplices. When I was a teenager, I had been arrested so many times for going out to protest for our rights in the LGBTQIA. 19, 20, 21. I've been protesting for 25 years. I started when I was 14, and I've been going ever since. I have not stopped. Boots on the ground fighting for everyone's rights, and what sucks is when we go out to the protests for our marriage rights, when we go out to the protests for our bodily autonomy, when we go out to the protests for all these things. When I went out to the Pride protests, and when I went out to the DOMA protests, the Don't Ask, Don't Tell protests, the thing that fucking sucked is I never saw straight people there. They might have been there, small little groupings of them.
Are your pronouns they, them?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, they, them.
For the chat, Geeky's pronouns are they, them. I really want you guys to be respectful. I don't know a lot of the people that are in here. I do know that my people are pretty respectful, so I do want everybody to use the right pronouns in this situation and in these lives, please.
I appreciate that. I haven't even been paying attention to the chat. Honestly, fucking having a hard time even seeing the screen clearly right now. But I appreciate the correction. I don't know, dude. Like, it's gonna be a long road forward.
Yeah, I understand that. And to you, Geeky, I want to apologize. Because I never wanted to perpetuate this harm onto you, or this hurt onto you. And I understand that this could bring a lot of PTSD back, and I don't want you to feel like that. My microphone is loud. Is it? I apologize.
I disagree. I think your microphone is at the correct volume.
Okay. I want you to know that I will do everything that I can to make up for this. And like I was saying, I definitely am sorry for the hurt that this now has brought you, and for the emotions that this has brought you. because I know this is going to be a lot of emotions, and I know people are disappointed in me, and that's why I wanted to come up here and be held accountable for the things that I've done to disappoint people and to hurt people. So I just want to tell you that I apologize, and that I will do everything that I can to be better, to learn from my mistakes, and to try my best to not perpetuate this harm onto anyone else.
I can give you credit for being willing to be up here and do this publicly. But to me, I'm still stuck on you not addressing it if it hadn't been for the video.
Yeah.
That's what's getting me. That's what's getting to me. That's the part that's really painful. That's the part that I needed to know before I said anything else. Because it matters. People tend to only hold themselves accountable when they're facing consequences. But that's not accountability. That's damage control. So. Hey Mookie. Hey babe.
Hello. Can you hear me okay?
Yeah, we got you, babe.
Okay, cool. Kiki, I want to make sure you get to finish all your thoughts, and then I'll just chime in before you drop off.
No, I'm honestly coming up here and fucking crying. God, that's so embarrassing. Crying in front of 900 people is
Don't be embarrassed. Don't be embarrassed. You are completely entitled to your feelings and your emotions, and I want you to be able to get them out in a safe space where you feel comfortable enough to.
Yeah. Go ahead, Mookie.
Thanks for coming up, Kiki, and I echo Mermaid's sentiments that you like. I understand being embarrassed about being like that vulnerable in such a public setting. There are almost 1,000 people in here, but we stand vulnerability. We need vulnerability. We lean into it because it makes us better. And I appreciate being able to be in spaces where it's even remotely safe enough to do that. So I appreciate you for your vulnerability, and I think you should be proud of it. The other thing I wanted to mention just before you dropped off, because this was being said in the chat, and I didn't want it to go unaddressed because I think people deserve like truth around this, is the mentions of AAVE.
Yeah, I saw it.
Sorry, what?
Oh, I was just saying that I did see it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
it was a moment of high emotion.
Yeah. Yeah, totally. Yeah, and I think, we talk all the time about how there isn't a facet of our society that is untouched by Black culture, and certainly our popular speech is part of that. Black culture influences it a lot. So, yeah, like I heard I ain't never, which is definitely AAVE, and if you're from South
It was
LA, then
hella
that makes sense too.
AAV.
Yeah, thanks for
Yeah.
acknowledging that, because I think folks were feeling a little gaslighted about that. So thanks for acknowledging that.
I do
And
apologize for the use of AAVE. I grew up in LA. I was, my main community was, the Black community. I've always been surrounded by the Black community. So to me, it was a moment where I code switched. And I apologize for the code switch. Because as someone who loves language so much, I tend to borrow from languages that I know have the emotional depth to have that point come across. So it was me code switching into AAVE. And for everyone who is talking about it, I apologize for it.
yeah, so thank you for that. I don't wanna derail this conversation from the transphobia being centered too long. I just want to say that, yeah, thank you for acknowledging that if you were surrounded by Black people, if you grew up surrounded by Black people, which like I was getting ready to say that when you were like, I grew up in South LA, and I was like, word, okay, so that makes sense. If you were surrounded by Black people, this is a dialect that you've adopted. I also want to point out, uh, like that is a reality for so many people because, like I mentioned, like there is not a facet of society that is untouched by Black culture. I'm from New York City. We dominate culture here. We dominate speech here, and we know the history of AAVE. We know that it was born of systemic racism, of enslaved Black people not being allowed to learn to read and write, and as a result, developing a dialect of their own to be able to communicate. We know that this is still contemporarily relevant because Black people are still actively being denied access to education, which contributes to the constant evolution of AAVE. That's why we are always seeing new phrases and new what's the word? Conjugations of things. Yeah, new colloquialisms, new grammar, new conjugations. So I just wanted to speak to the context of that and the importance of that. This is why it's harmful for non-Black people to use AAVE, because it is a dialect that was born out of the literal enslavement of Black people, and it's a dialect that Black people don't get to use. We are called uneducated ghetto, all kinds of things for using a language that is a language and has grammar and has rules like any other dialect, but it is deemed less than because it was born out of Blackness. So where non-Black people get to use it and it gets popularized and it's catchy and it's cool and it's edgy, Black people get fired over it. We don't get seen at the doctors with the same level of seriousness over it, and things like that. And the last thing I'll say is I mentioned about code switching, which I don't think is just happened here. Code switching refers to people who are Black and who like originated the dialect and don't get to use it and assimilate into quote unquote regular speech or mainstream speech, mainstream dialects of English in order to be safe, in order to survive. That's what code switching means. So if you are not a Black person,
Can you guys still see me?
Yes.
Yeah, we can still see.
This damn computer be bugging out, bro. I apologize. I'm sorry for
No, I'm
cutting
sorry
you
too,
off,
because I
Mookie.
know I'm.
No. You continue
Mookie,
talking.
go
You
on.
guys have this conversation. If I the screen, it's lagging. I don't know why. If I don't move my my mouse,
For me.
okay. If it's lagging, you might just have to leave out and then come back in. Everybody to be heard.
Yeah, there's
If you're lagging,
There's
click
been a
out
lot
of
of
TikTok. Yeah, sorry, Kiki. There's been a lot of lag. Gina says she's on a plane and it's fine. So if your TikTok is lagging, close out of the app, come back in, tap the screen and share the live because that helps Al Gore's rhythm. See, Penguin says there's a lag.
There's a lag.
There's a lag. So
Gina,
now,
please get to your destination safely, please. I appreciate
yes,
you,
Gina.
Gina. What's it doing this?
I haven't had a lag thus far, and my Wi-Fi can be wild, so usually I have lags. Someone said better now. Mine's working.
Okay. Hopefully it's working now.
Exited and came back.
I'm gonna now my mic is louder than the guest. 1 second. I'm gonna like upgrade my
No worries. Yeah. Someone said I
Mookie,
scrolled
I
down and came
wanna
back on TikTok.
board. I will not. I won't do. I won't do.
Practice, like it's a practice because, like I said,
Yeah.
it's really pervasive. And if you grew up around Black people, I talk about this all the time. I always use my wife as an example because she is non-Black, grew up in Brooklyn with all of it, like, and so this is literally how she learned to talk. And she's always in speech stopping herself and being like, hold on, let me think of a different way to say this, because it's now an active labor that she has to do to relearn what is now a knee-jerk way for her to speak. And I think, like, those of us who are on TikTok really pervasively, like, language appropriation of AAVE is super pervasive on TikTok. You know, these and people will say it's TikTok lingo, or like it's
That lingo has always been taken from the Black community. Always.
Yeah, absolutely. And Mermaid, I know you're getting ready to say something. This is the last thing I'll say. That some folks are in the comments saying, yes, Eli, please feel free. Some folks were in the comments saying, we've lost the plot. We were talking about transphobia.
This is still part of the plot.
This is part of the plot, and let me tell you why. Almost every single thing that is pop culture, phrasing, super cute, like we all say, comes from, guess who? Black trans women. It's not just Black people. It is very specifically the queer Black community, and even more specifically, Black trans women. So this is the plot. It all connects. It always connects.
Is very important.
Women. Don't get it twisted, okay? You got all
That
of that
part,
shit from Black queens.
Black trans women.
I'm trying
got
to
all
fix
of it
the
from
lag,
Black queens.
everybody. I'm sorry. I don't know what's actually happening. It's just
Get a very common W for Mookie in the chat, everybody.
she has a sticker if you're a subscriber. If you're a subscriber, there is a W Mookie sticker. Everyone.
You know,
again, I apologize for the appropriation. I won't call it code switching again because it's not. Learning that was very important to me. All of this
Thank you.
roots back to the intersectionality of this process. Once again, Black trans women are I'm Middle Eastern. I'm not white. Please stop saying I'm white.
That's all I wanted to add. I'll drop down because I want to leave the spaces for trans people to talk. But thanks, Kiki, for being receptive, and thank you, Mermaid, also for allowing the space for that.
Always.
Love you, Mookie.
Mookie, you know I'm a perpetual student.
Yes. Please do. Please do.
I'll drop too then. I didn't want to. I don't want to come up in any kind of like in a inappropriate manner. So like I don't want. I just wanted to say like a couple of things. Just like keeping in. Wow, I don't know how to say this. I know, Geeky, that like we're upset and whatnot, but I just want to make sure that we're staying mindful of like elevating our tone, or like I want to stay mindful of that. Like when we are coming up here, that was kind of like. I don't know how to say it. I don't know how to say it, but I think we're all lagging. We can hear each other, but I don't know that they can. But
why is it lagging for you guys and it's not lagging on my phone? What is happening?
Yeah, they can't. Yeah, they can't. I don't think everybody's saying the lag is like too bad. It was lagging before I came up here.
It was.
So maybe we just need to, maybe either, But the thing I'll say is just I think it's the presentation of like I know that you're Middle Eastern and but it's like white. We are white presenting. Like I'm just white. I'm not Middle Eastern, but it's like the like I'm not dismissing. Wanted to say that, but yeah, I will drop because I don't want to also like
I feel like I need to address this. I don't present white. I've never presented white. The picture in my profile may look white and the filters may you would imagine from like the Southeast Asian community and you know closer to the darker tones of white, you know, be labeled as white. It's never been one of those things. Like I have constantly over the years, even when people don't know me. And it's because I don't look white.
Can I drop everyone for 1 second really and then everybody come right back into my request? I'm going to pause the live and see if that fixes it, because I think this is an important conversation that does need to be had, and also goes in with the topic of the live as well. So wait, somebody said I'm not lagging now. Is it not lagging? I don't know what to do. I'm sorry. This is a new setup, everyone. I'm sorry.
I also don't know that it's you, Mermaid. It might just be it just might be TikTok, you know.
Mm-hmm.
No lag?
Because some people are saying lag. Some people. Now
it's back and forth. Everybody's saying it's either lagging or it stopped lagging or the lag is so bad, and it seems to be better.
Someone says, I think it's when you click around that it starts to lag.
I got a headache.
No lag, better now. Maybe it's true. Maybe if you don't click around, it will. Some waves.
Okay, I'm gonna stop clicking.
I'll drop too, because I also don't want to take the space from other trans people that want to come up. But I just sorry, but I am gonna be listening. I appreciate y'all.
Yeah,
sorry.
Thank you, Eli.
And thank you, Eli, for coming up.
Yeah, and thanks for bringing up that point. I know that it can be a tricky one, and Geeky certainly I don't think anyone wants to negate your lived experiences. And I think being racially ambiguous is challenging. And the thing, like, I think that race was not designed to accurately reflect us all, and to account for everybody. It was designed basically to just account for two races of people. And so the rest of us have a hard time, or not the rest of us, but other people, because I fit into one of the first two. But a lot of other people can have trouble finding which one they fit into. But I will just speak to the specific anti-blackness of it, because I think that, like, racism is one thing, and I think anti-black racism is also a very specific thing. So one of the things that I always try to impress upon a space that I'm in with Black people and Black women who are, just being held accountable or just being spoken to in general, right, is just an awareness of the power dynamics in the room. And if there's a situation where there's one Black person in the room and everyone else is non-Black, then there still needs to be mindfulness around anti-Blackness. And I'm not accusing you of anti-Blackness. I'm
Station.
Yeah, even if it's not necessarily, like, whiteness at play. And so, we try to be mindful of things like Eli was saying, like a volume of, like who we're yelling at, what the implications of cis people, and there was one trans person and they were being yelled at, or a room full of able-bodied people and there was one disabled person, and the power dynamics always matter. So I think that's what Eli was speaking to. Oh, and the lag is back, apparently. Helps.
It might be that the server, by one, the amount of people who are probably addressing things. Two, if Mermaid is doing things on her computer and then it's trying to catch up, it might cause a lag because it's trying to process so many different commands at once.
Anything.
I don't know.
Just got the
TikTok
Studio out.
Oh, you're not even clicking around? Oh, no. I don't know. TikTok Studio on my computer lags sometimes too.
Do you want to try going on your phone, Merm, like how you usually do?
Yeah, my phone's not charged. My phone is not charged. Do I can restart if I need to. Should I?
Yeah, I guess so. Yeah.
I think it's TikTok. Is it? It's TikTok? Good. Okay. So I'm gonna restart. And I'll come back and I'll for like another 15-20 minutes. To go get ready to go get my daughter. So how do I... Okay, I'm gonna restart. Everybody can come back so we can continue on having these conversations.